Looks like a spaceship landed, doesn't it, in the, in the background there. Looks fabulous. I'm sure it will be when it's finished. Women's 100 meters, Deja Stevens goes in lane 1, the 30-year-old. Don't get to see her too often on the Diamond League circuit. Brie Rizzo, the Australian, and like the South Africans, already had a big season, equalled her personal best in Perth at the Australian Championships, where she finished 3rd. And again, a couple of Americans we don't see loads of necessarily, but Cabrera Sturgis is going to be in lane 3. Is in pretty good form, 10.98. That's her quickest for 3 years. That was in the States earlier this month. And then Celera Barnes had a great indoor season last year. She was actually 3rd in the Diamond League in Doha at the beginning of last season, looking to get the Diamond League season off to a good start here. Won the national championships at 60 meters indoors, so no doubt Barnes will get out quickly. Not sure what to expect from Shericka Jackson, the great world champion. Not sure she's yet in the sort of form where we haven't seen her over 100 meters yet this season. As such, she was 2nd in the Diamond League in China over 200. And then Zoe Hobbs, we've got 3 or 4 people here who are at the World Indoors. Zoe Hobbs, one of them, the New Zealander, was 6th in the final there. Again, had a very good indoor season. Maya McCoy, well, she took a chance, won the kind of international race in Doha before the Diamond League. Then we had a withdrawal, and she had got to race twice there, and is in good form. It says Liberia, I'm told, I think that she's going to go back to running for the USA, or wants to. She accepted the chance to run for Liberia, but now wants to go back on that, getting close to 11 seconds. Now, Jasia Sears, watch out for her. Again, another great indoor runner. Sadly, injury last year after running 10.77 early in the year meant that we didn't see the best of her for the rest of 24. And then Rani Rosius of Belgium in lane 9. So the quick starters, you've got Sears in 8. Can she turn that into a big 100 meters here? Zoe Hobbs gets out quickly as well. Barnes the same. What are we going to see from Shericka Jackson right in the middle? The biggest name in this 100 meters, but is she going to be quick enough at this stage of her season? And what about McCoy? New name on the circuit to many, and her chance to show what she can do in this sort of company. So Jackson right in the middle in lane 5. Barnes and Sturgis are the 2 Americans in 4 and 3 next to her. Hobbs in the yellow, then McCoy, Jasia Sears and Rosius closest to the camera. Women's 100 meters.
Sir.
Oh, a really good start from Barnes, and Sturgis got away quickly as well, and these two with half a yard, although Barnes is beginning to go back. Shericka Jackson coming through the middle. Jasia Sears is going to be close as well. It's going to be tight on the line. Jackson might just get there. She does. McCoy storms through for 2nd. Well, we said we weren't sure what to expect from Shericka Jackson, and it's good to see. We want our big stars coming and running well. She doesn't look too happy, does she? But that was an emphatic win in the end. Not super quick. It's a warm evening here and a little breeze behind the sprinters, but 11.04, a good start for Jackson. 2 or 3 others got out of the blocks better, but by 50 meters she was certainly co-leading and then went on to take it, Tim.
Yeah, she did. I mean, actually a brilliant start, and you called it, from Celera Barnes. Look there in the headband, 4th from right, but it's almost like she just lost her rhythm there, and the power of Shericka Jackson, she carried on accelerating. They hit their top speed at around 70 meters, these sprinters. She just holds her form there. Look at that really symmetrical, beautiful looking balance. And coming through strongly on the near side, McCoy in the all black does well there, just easing out Jasia Sears, who takes a 3rd spot, a season's best for her, the same as the winner, Shericka Jackson. But yeah, Shericka Jackson very, very sober, Steve. I think she probably knows full well that there's a bigger fish to be caught later in the season, much, much bigger fish.
I think she'll be pleased with that, whatever cool demeanor she's keeping. You know, there's some good people here running well, and for Jackson, 100 metres.
Champion, the Olympic champion, one of the shining stars of our sport. He always believes the big occasions belong to him, but this is going to take something very, very special for ours. One of them is Sha'Carri Richardson, 6th fastest in history. 9.75 this year, 9.85 in the semis. The Olympic silver medalist missed out by thousandths last year. Can he make it count this year? Kenny Benarek, so often the silver man. Second place here, second place Eugene, second place believes it's his time to shine. He's in 6, Oblique Seville. So often, unfortunately for him, up until now, he's run his quickest races in the semis rather than the final. Much better in the semi than the greatest we've ever seen. He's happy to be in the shadows. Who is going to step into the spotlight? Are we going to see the first Jamaican champion since Bond? Are we going to see only the 4th successful title defence in history for Noah Lyles? Sabine, South Africa in 2, Ajay, Nigeria 3, Lyles, USA 4, Thompson, Jamaica 5, Benarek, USA 6, Seville, Jamaica 7, Tobago, Botswana 8, Nutella, South Africa in 9. A final for the ages. Even the all-time greats are excited by this stage. Lyles believes tonight belongs to him. There are 7 other men, desperate to take his crown. It's the World Championship final over 100 metres. Oh, I cannot believe it. I cannot believe 22. Bitterly disappointed in 23 and 24, but this time he's come out on top of the world. And in front of Usain Bolt, he's become the first Jamaican champion for a decade. Brilliant, brilliant from the sensational Seville.
Right smile there for Noah Lyles. He looked under pressure for the first time this season with 30. Was on the wall all season long. Sha'Carri Thompson has been brilliant. He will be dangerous come that 200 metres as well.
Well, the subplots for the 200 are brutal, aren't they? Tobago will be hoping to make amends for the DQ. Lyles will be desperate to win his best event. Benarek wants to bounce back, but let's savour Seville in lane 7. Great running by Seville, it really was. At last, he has learned to produce his best in the final, not in the semi. And he had to bounce back from the brilliant start that Thomas got. Thomas didn't throw that away, Seville won it, and that's why they're both delighted.
And as we get ready, we don't want to disrespect the gentleman on the track. Oblique Seville 414. But let's go to the start. Buwaji and Krumi in lane 1.
9.99 seconds for Buwaji and Krumi. His personal best comes in with a time of 10.06, on the verge of another sub 10 seconds in the 100 meters.
2, Akeem Blake.
He trains with Dynamic Speed, coached by Michael Frater. His aim is to run faster than his coach's PB. He's the reigning Diamond League champion, Akeem Blake.
Brian Lavelle in 3.
Brian Lavelle, a brand new personal best of 9.94 seconds in the semifinals. Trains with Optimum Track Club. Brian Lavelle in fine form, won 200 meters last year at these championships.
Kadrian Golson in 4.
The big man at Sprint Tech was running some 10.2s and 10.3s early this season, has stepped right up to the 10 flat level. He is ready to deliver a big run here. He's in the middle of the track in lane 4.
That is Sha'Carri Thompson in lane 5, MVP.
Bruce and I agree that he's in personal best territory. 9.80 his new season's best, 9.77 at his utmost best. The Olympic silver medalist at 100 meters. Very fast, very quick. I think he's the man to beat in this race.
Oblique Seville from Racers Track in 6.
The second of the Racers athletes in this final. He ran 9.84 to make it to this final, becoming the second fastest man in the world this year. At the time, he was the fastest. He has a personal best at 9.81. He knows what to do to make that team.
Rowan Watson, MVP, lane 7.
Well, Ron Watson, back in 2023, was a national champion over 100 meters. That very year in Budapest, he would have been a part of Jamaica's 4x1 bronze medal winning team in Budapest.
Raheem Ford in lane 8, Empire Athletic.
At 10.06, he's all the way out in lane 8, but he says, hey, I've been on a world championship team before. I have also run sub 10.
We did it with the ladies in Krumah, Kingston College. Blake.
Oh, Blake was Merlin Otti.
Level.
Edwin Allen.
Golson.
Don't remember.
Margate High.
Thompson.
Margate High.
Garvey
Garvey
Maceo.
Maceo.
Oblique Calabar.
Homewood and Calabar.
Watson.
York Castle.
Ford.
Jamaica College.
We did it for the
Here
ladies.
they are.
Here we go.
Kishane Thompson won his first national title last year. Personal best, 9.77 to win then. Oblique Seville was
Oblique
second.
Seville.
Mind games?
Add to the tension,
Mind
Jermaine.
games?
Final race of the evening, folks. In lane 1, Bouagie and Krumi. 2, Akeem
Well,
Blake.
he has
3,
his hands over his face. We hope he's okay.
Brian Lavelle in 4, Cadron Golson.
We hope
Brian
he's
Lavelle
okay.
in 3, Cadron Golson 4, Kishane Thompson 5, Oblique Seville in 6, Rowan
there's a
Watson in 7,
problem.
and Raheem
Yeah.
Ford in 8.
There's a problem for Oblique Seville, and he's almost in tears, and he says his hamstring. And
It's grabbing him.
yeah, and I think maybe that's what he might have felt, rather Bruce in the semi-finals.
Yeah.
And
And his teammate, his training partner, Braja and Kume, goes over to him. He knows if he
Yeah.
runs, he's going to pull.
yeah.
He knows it.
Knows
He's
it.
hoping that it will calm down.
Yep.
Having run 9.84, he's
Bruce?
trying to stretch it out.
Yeah, in a case like this, with the officials, a bit more time.
No, the rules don't allow that. The race is to go. But he knows what he's feeling.
Yeah, he needs to call it a day.
And we go back to the semi-final, and I said I couldn't figure out what was
He's
going
crying.
on. with him.
Remember what I said?
Yeah.
I thought that stutter that he didn't.
He's really suffered the consequences in that final. And I'll never forget.
Yeah.
He said Stephen should never have been allowed
Yeah.
to compete, even before he ran.
So again, folks, in lane 1, Bouagie and Krumi. From racers, Akeem Blake, Dynamic, Brian Lavelle, Optimum, Cadron Golson, Sprint Tech, Kishane Thompson, MVP. We're not certain if Oblique is going to be in there. He's from racers, and you hear the not the announcer, the starter saying, "Let's go, gentlemen, on your march." Rowan Watson in 7 and Raheem Ford.
Yeah,
in lane
the other
8.
risk, and why they need to get the race going now, is that the athletes cannot stand up there. The other 7, they need to go. They're warm and ready to go now.
Yeah.
And because of this weight, I would not be surprised if the time is not as quick as we would have hoped.
Quite anticlimactic here, but sent to their blocks for the men's 100-meter final. The defending champion, Kishane Thompson, there in lane 5. The Olympic silver medalist from Paris. 9.77 personal best to win last year. 9.80 world leading time. The semi-finals. Can Seville do enough to make this team? Set position. Bang, is sent off. Seville gets out quickly, so too does Thompson. Thompson takes charge. Thompson pulls away from the field. Akeem Blake. Here comes Seville as well. Seville gets second behind Thompson. 9.71, the flash time.
We need wind legal. We
Yes,
need wind legal.
definitely need wind legal.
Seville.
And they adjusted
Blake
time
comes
as well.
through as well.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, welcome back to another episode of Sports Rewind. The reason why I call it Sports Rewind is that because it's one of the races that happened some time ago. Now, what we've just witnessed, ladies and gentlemen, the biggest question is, was this supposed to happen or not? Because on paper, USA had the depth, the hype, and the dominance, but what unfolded on that track shocked the world. Because Jamaica didn't just win, ladies and gentlemen. Jamaica, they made a big, bold win by 30 meters. Jamaica had already has the edge. By 60 meters, ladies and gentlemen, it's no longer close. And by 80 meters, ladies and gentlemen, that was pure domination. This wasn't a last second dip, ladies and gentlemen. This wasn't luck. This was execution at the highest level. As you all know, that's what Jamaicans do best. Ladies and gentlemen, the Jamaican trio surged ahead with clean sprint mechanics, perfect stride frequency, and elite composure under pressure. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, a great athlete, a better athlete, is determined by his or her performance under pressure. And Jamaica just showed to us that they can do that. They can execute that perfectly well. Ladies and gentlemen, so what really happened here? I mean, it only comes down to three major key factors. One, technical discipline. Because Jamaican sprinters are known for their consistency, not just speed. Their form holds under pressure. Ladies and gentlemen, remember Jamaica is a stream. Jamaica is a system. Jamaica is a pipeline. Because it has been constantly giving us a generation of champions. Another key factor here, ladies and gentlemen, was the relay chemistry mindset. You know that matters even more. Ladies and gentlemen, even in individual races, Jamaica runs like a unit. They push each other, not just compete. Jamaica, they want to see their fellows do well. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we've been saying, or rather, we all know that Jamaica and Team USA, whenever they are in any race, they do something perfectly and they spice up the race. We appreciate them in all aspects. And this race shows, or rather proves, the point. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the third key factor here was the championship mentality. Beautiful people, when it matters, Jamaica always shows up. That's not luck, ladies and gentlemen. That's culture. Meanwhile, the USA, despite having world-class athletes, sometimes struggles with execution in stacked fields. Ladies and gentlemen, so is this a warning sign? Because if Jamaica is already this sharp, what will happen at the next World Championship? What will happen at the next Olympic? But one thing is clear, Jamaica isn't chasing anyone anymore. They are standard, and the world is trying to catch up. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'd really love for you to engage me in the comment section. Drop a comment, tell me what to think of this video, and tell me what to think of the Jamaican performances and all the other athletes in this race. Now, let's not disregard the efforts made by the other athletes. They have done really well. They put on massive efforts to represent themselves and their countries at this level. So for that, let's take this opportunity to appreciate and congratulate each and everyone that took part in this race. So once again, beautiful people, I've been your host, Larry Kagiran Covers. Remember, if you're coming across my channel for the first time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and also comment. To my returning subscribers, my returning viewers, I got to say thank you so much for the love and support. So until we meet again in my next video, peace out and one love.